Hey kids, Flexing Teacher Weber here. I hope you're having a good day. We've now moved on to the topic of subtracting integers, and this is the part of integers where I think kids start to have a little confusion because they tend to go too fast and not sort of consider the whole question. So what we did over the last couple of days was we developed the rules for subtracting integers, and I want to go through those questions that we did. So we did them in groups of 3. And we're still going to use our integer model to develop these rules. So a shaded circle will be a positive 1, and an unshaded will be a negative 1, as always. And I want to model these questions and see what happens. So question number 1, we have positive 5 take away positive 2. So starting out modeling this is pretty easy. We model out positive 5s. Okay, and then what we do is we do what the question says. We want to take away positive 2. So take away 2 positives. And the answer is positive 3. There's 3 shaded left. So really, this is the same as just saying 5 minus 2. Now, what I also had the kids do is I wanted to show them this. So we also tried this. We said, what if we wrote this as 5 plus negative 2? How would that look? Well, we'd have 5 positives. 1, 2, oops. We'd have 5 positives. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And to add on 2 negatives, we'd do 1, 2. And then we'd use our integer model, where we take away, every time we have a positive and a negative, we take them away. And we'd also get the answer of positive 3. There'd be 3 left, right? 1, 2, 3. So what we've discovered here is that subtracting a positive is the same as adding a negative. And that's going to be important. Because if we can write all subtraction questions as adding questions, then we only have to remember the rules for adding of integers. Let's take a look at another one. Positive 3 take away positive 1. Well, if I was to model that out, I'd have 3 positives. And now, can I take away 1 negative? Yes, I can. I can take away 1 negative. And I'm left with positive 2. There's 2 shaded left. So really, that was the same as just saying 3 minus 1. Now, we looked at it like this as well. We said, what if we thought of it as positive 3 plus negative 1? How would that look? Well, doing 3 positives would be 1, 2, 3, and then add on 1 negative. There you go. Now we have a positive and a negative together, and that equals positive 2. So subtracting a positive, the same as adding a negative. Okay, we'll look at one more set like this, or one more question like this. So positive 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we're going to take away positive 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're left with positive 2. So really, that was the same as saying 7 minus 5. Now, we also looked at the question through this lens. We said, what if we looked at it as 7 positives adding on 5 negatives? What answer would we get? Well, let's model that out. Here's 7 positives. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And here's 5 negatives. Add on 5 negatives. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then look for your 0 pairs. There's 5 of them, right? We could go doink, 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 doink. And we're left with these 2 right here, which is positive 2. So what we've discovered here is that subtracting a positive is the same as adding a negative. Now let's look at another set like this. Okay, it's still subtracting a positive. Subtracting a positive. Let's see if Subtracting a positive is the same as adding a negative. Well, if we were to model this out, I would have 6 negatives, and I want to take away 3 positives. Take away 3 positives. Here's the trouble. How can I take away something that's not there? There are no positives there. Well, one might say, okay, just add 3 positives then. But then I haven't done what the question said. I haven't subtracted 3 positives. I've added 3 positives. So here's the big question. How do I make 3 positives appear without actually adding positive 3? Well, the way I do that is with every positive, I put a negative. Because when I do that, I haven't added positive 3. I've added 0, right? All of this equals 0. So I haven't added positive 3, I've added 0. And now I can do what the question says. The question says, take away 3 positives. So I'm going to take away those 3 positives. And look at what I'm left with. I'm left with negative 9. Actually, what I'm really left with, look at the question I'm really left with. I'm left with negative 6 over here, and I've added on 3 negatives, which is negative 9. So when we are subtracting a positive, we're really adding a negative. That's what we're getting at here by looking at this. Subtracting a positive is the same as adding a negative. Okay, let's do another one. Okay, 5 negatives. Let's model out 5 negatives. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now the question says take away 1 positive. Well, I don't have a positive to take away. So I could do this, but that's not right. I've added a positive. I want to subtract a positive. So how can I make 1 positive appear without actually having a value of positive 1? Well, I do a 0 pair. Because now right here I've added 0. I haven't added 1. But now I can do what the question says. The question says, take away 1 positive. So I'll take 1 away. And what I'm left with is negative 6. And the question I'm really left with now is negative 5 right here, and I've added on negative 1 on there. So negative 5 plus negative 1 also equals negative 6, except now we've taken this subtraction question and written it as an addition question. Subtracting a negative is the same as adding a positive. Okay, last one. Negative 9 take away positive 7. Okay, so 9 negatives. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I want to take away 7 positives, but look at, there's no positives to take away. So, if I added on 7 positives, that would be wrong as well, because I don't want to add on 7 positives, I want to take away 7 positives. So the way to make positive 7 appear without actually having a value of positive 7 is to put a negative with each positive. Now right here, I've actually added 0, right? And now I can do what the question says. I can take away 7 positives, take them away. And look at what I'm left with. What I'm actually left with is negative 9 plus negative 7. And negative 9 plus negative 7 is equal to negative 16. In all 6 of these questions, we have shown that subtracting a positive is the same as adding a negative. In this group 3, subtracting a positive is the same as adding a negative, and in this group of 3, subtracting a positive is the same as adding a negative. So, the first rule for subtracting integers is subtracting a positive is the same as adding a negative. So minus plus is the same as plus minus. In my next video, I will show what happens when we subtract negatives. That's all for now. Flexing Teacher Weber, out.